The Arizona Lacrosse League is looking for your support of our Game of the Week webcast by APN. Become a sponsor today. You'll reach thousands in the Arizona Lax community. You will get a 20-second in-game ad that will appear 5 times. Announcer read touting your business throughout the broadcast. And it's a great branding opportunity. Game sponsorship and value packages available. Call Jeff Lowry at APN Video 623-936-5585 to become a sponsor today of Arizona High School Lacrosse. Be a part of one of Arizona's elite lacrosse teams, the 2018 Summer Hot Sauce Travel Teams. Tryouts are Sunday, March 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Will Nolan Field at Vista Canyon Park in Ahwatukee. For further information, please contact Dan Lannon at dan.lannon@yahoo.com or bill_Lynch@cox.net. Calling all teams and players, get into the box. Arizona Box Lacrosse presents the Best in Box Invitational starting in June. League practices will be held to prepare for a 6-week game series sponsored by String King. Get into the box. Register today at azboxla.com. The Arizona Lacrosse League is on the air, and tonight from BROPHY Sports Complex, a heated rivalry down through the years as the Desert Vista Thunder take on the BROPHY Broncos. I'm Jeff Lowry, APM Video Sports. So glad you could join us here. A nice warm evening for Arizona Lacrosse. Temperatures in the high 70s. These are the two most successful teams in the decade in the Arizona Lacrosse League. As you get a look at the goalie, Kyler Moore, and a very talented team for head coach Dan Lannon. They're led defensively by Thumler. He is a hard hitter and outstanding with the stick, number 36 for the Desert Vista Thunder, and last year's Offensive Player of the Year, and one of the all-time leading scorers in Thunder history, J.J. Rose. He'll be heading off to Rhode Island after his senior year. Dan Lannon, the second winningest coach. He won 3 national titles at Syracuse. On the other side, BROPHY, they're led by Thomas Moore. Expecting to have a big game here today if they expect to beat the undefeated Desert Vista Thunder. BROPHY off to their worst start since the early 2000s. Quinn Funk, an outstanding captain and goalie for the Broncos. As the teams come out to midfield, we're getting set for the opening face-off. So let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the home team, BROPHY Broncos. In goal is Liam Bailey. The 3 defenders, Luke Pettiford, Jackson Underwood, and Emmett Worth. At midfield, Thomas Moore, Andrew Court, and Xander Welty. And the attack of Jack Clark, Drew Scheinman, and Mason Donkersley. That's for the BROPHY Broncos, 4-2 by way of record. Kaylor Moore, you saw a moment ago, in goal. Bryce Thumler, Braden Culp, and Jacob Mitchell will be the 3 defenders. J.J. Rose, Jake Rodriguez, Garrett Geeson are at midfield for Dan Lannon's Desert Vista Thunder. And the attack is Nick Callahan, Jack Aarons, and Ben Brandenberger. Spencer Story will hook up here with Xander Welty in Face-Off X, and we're getting set for one of the great rivalries in Arizona Lacrosse League history, and this game is underway. 8 o'clock right on the chimes and right on the dot, and the first face-off belongs to the Desert Vista Thunder. So a nice ground ball there by the Goose, who had 16 points, 15 ground balls a year ago. And we're underway as the Desert Vista Thunder settle into their first offensive possession. J.J. Rose, number 25, the outstanding midfielder, quite possibly the best player in the state. They'll work it around the horn. Desert Vista has beaten BROPHY in 5 consecutive meetings. In fact, the last time BROPHY has beaten Desert Vista was at Chaparral High School for the state championship in 2013. And the final score in that game was 6-5. And BROPHY is coming off a loss 14-10 at the hands of the Glendale Vipers, the first time Bill Casey's team has ever beaten BROPHY. So they are struggling this year as the first shot of the game, a nice pass, nice feed from the wing, but unable to find the back of the cage was Garrett Geeson. And Liam Bailey, who is only a sophomore, is one of the true team leaders on this team. He started the state championship game last year when Brophy took on that mighty Notre Dame prep team and almost tied that game up at the end of that regulation. Final score was a 1-point victory for Notre Dame, who won their first ever Division I state championship over Brophy, who has won 5, second only to Chaparral. And they have been in 10 finals. So the Broncos with their first possession of the game. The Broncos led by Zach Widman, Chris White. Zach taking over for Bo Pick, who retired and from the Brophy Bronco head coaching staff and retired as the winningest coach in Arizona Lacrosse League history. Dan Lannon with Desert Vista in his 10th season is assisted by Eric Ho, Jeff Kuhn, and Cody Wood. And I believe Harrison Crawford too. He's on the league or on the team website. Here's the dodge and the turn. Trying to roll on that defender. Good defense. We mentioned Bryce Thumler, very physical and tremendous stick handling abilities, especially with that long stick, and could probably play long stick midfield like a defensive player and give you some offense. There's a nice looking save. Upper shelf. Saved by Moore. The outlet broken up nicely by Thomas Moore. And I think when this season's over, Thomas Moore is going to be an all-star. Now some of the crowd wanted maybe a 2-minute non-releasable. Let's see if they get that, and they do. Thomas Moore is in the penalty box for 2 minutes, irregardless of a score, which usually releases someone from the penalty box. That is not the case when it's non-releasable. So an unnecessary roughness call will put Desert Vista in a man-up for the next 2 minutes. Now about 1 minute and 50. Jack Arentz, one of 3 Desert Vista players in the game today, who is a second-generation Desert Vista Thunder. Nice look. And the shot coming strong from goal line extended, and then got out in front of the crease. J.J. Rose unassisted. So Rose scoring with 8 minutes and 29 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter, and Desert Vista takes a 1-0 lead. J.J. Rose coming in strong from X. Snuck in there. He's got a powerful shot, over-the-top shot, gives the Thunder the 1-0 lead. We're going to get a procedure call going against Desert Vista, and so Brophy will have their second possession of the contest. 1-0 Desert Vista. We're in the first quarter. 8 minutes left to go here in the opening quarter. Thomas Bullington. Swing it over to Donkersley, who will work the wing. Good defense, good leg work there by Culp. He gets the start. Looks like Dan Lannon going with 4 long sticks here to start the game. And so many times what that will do for you, if you've got a long stick midfielder that can handle, that has good stick skills, not only can he contribute offensively, but then you've got maybe an advantage defensively because you have that extra long stick out there. 1-0 Desert Vista. They're in the all-dark uniforms. Brophy in their traditional white and red. This is Thomas Bullington, one of their top scorers this year. Now they work it over to Scheinman. Scheinman, a freshman, 6 freshmen and 10 sophomores, and a lot of these freshmen are getting valuable playing time this year. One reason why maybe Zach Widman's Brophy Broncos are off to a slow start at 2-4, but you can probably put this one in the bank. The fact that this team's going to probably get better as the season goes along, as we're down to 7 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. And this team is really, I think when you're talking next season, this team ought to be back in the Final Four again if they don't do it again this year. Now the dodge. Here's Moore. Alley dodge, but then elects not to go. for the crease. And now Brophy works it around. Trailing 1-0 here inside of the 7-minute mark, first quarter. Good job by JJ. Good stick skills. Shot was taken, and it was deflected off the face of Kaylor Moore. An excellent save. He's had a couple of good ones here as we approach the halfway point here in quarter number 1. Here's the dodge. Coming out of X and blasting one through, rattling the back of the cage. Jack Clark of the Brophy Broncos. And with 6:34 left to go here in the first, the Broncos have tied it up at 1 apiece. Nice looking dodge. Coming out of, pretty much out of X. Second face-off of the day for these two teams, Desert Vista and Brophy, who met in the 2013 and 14 state championships, splitting both of them. Brophy won it in 2013, as we mentioned earlier. And Moore's pass goes off the face of Jack Clark. Desert Vista came back, and of course, I've said this so many times. I think Dan Lannon's 2014 and 2015 teams may have been the best in league history, and they took it to Brophy in 2014 to win their second state championship. They won one back in the early days of the Arizona Lacrosse League, which started back in 1998, and then they won back-to-back in 14 and 15. Of course, Brophy their 2008 team, I think, would have to be considered one of the greats, even though, as this shot, bottom shelf, Thomas Moore has found the promised land. And here in quarter number 1, Brophy has taken a 2-1 lead over the Desert Vista Thunder on an unassisted goal with 5:30 left to go here in the first by Thomas Moore. But getting back to, some of the great teams in this league's history, I think if you go back to that 2008 Brophy Broncos team, that was Hunter Rogers and company, Fishman. Brophy with their second face-off win in 3 tries here in the first, and a ground ball by Bullington. That team handed a Lawrenceville team, which traditionally comes into Arizona year in and year out and just, hands everybody their lunch. But that year, Brophy beat them and controlled the entire game. Their only loss was to Desert Vista that year, believe it or not. So you might have to give the advantage to that 14 and 15 team. Of course, Chaparral with Jeff Stroop as that feed comes from X. A beautiful job, Donkersley from Clark. So a 3-1 lead for the Broncos, obviously their largest of the contest. This is our 4th face-off. And we're going to get a hold against the Broncos. And that one probably against Alex Canelo, one of their top midfielders in his junior year, number 33 for the Broncos. I don't think Canelo knew where the ball was, and he was still pressuring the guy without the ball. So now Desert Vista will settle in 6-on-6 here. First quarter action. And a good start for Zach Widman's team. They look like a completely different team than they did against, well, the couple of games that I saw against Notre Dame and then even Chaparral. They lost to Chaparral. They've lost to Notre Dame and Glendale. And it's just been a tough start. They come in 2-4 by way of record, and the top 6 will go to the playoffs. Here's a big right-handed shot. He left it wide right of the goal, and that keeps it a 3-1 lead here for Brophy. Notre Dame coming in 6-0 by way of record, the number 1 team. Desert Vista and South Point tied for second place. They are both 4-0. Glendale is 5-1. And then you got Chaparral at 3-2. But what about Boulder Creek? And I know their record isn't impressive. They, too, like Brophy, are 2-4. But they have had 3 one-point losses against the 2, 3, and 4 seeds however you want to sort them out. South Point, Desert Vista, and Glendale. I mean, Boulder Creek is very close to being 5-1 themselves. And they have really turned things around. In fact, tomorrow night, we will be featuring Boulder Creek on our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week as they venture to Corona. They'll be taking Remo Montalbano's Corona del Sol Aztecs, a team that is a little bit in transition themselves, and hoping that in the next year or two, they're going to be right back to when they used to be one of the top 4 or 5 teams year in and year out in this league. And they're under some good guidance over there in Remo, and I know he's got them on the right track. So join us tomorrow night for all the action, Corona and Boulder Creek, Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. Here it's 3-1 in favor of the Brophy Broncos as Scheinman, the freshman, gets it back over to Moore, only a junior. Now the dodge, way out top. Donkersley, he lost it. Nice job defensively by Culp. It's been a couple of nice plays. He's played some good defense, good footwork for Dan Lannon's Desert Vista Thunder. Lannon in his 10th season is on one of only 4 coaches with 2 or more titles. Nice clear by Desert Vista as they get it into the attack zone here. And now push it over to the alley or the wing to the near side. And now finally corralled by Garrett the Goose Geeson. Desert Vista scored the first goal of this game at the 8:29 mark here in the first quarter. J.J. Rose unassisted, but Brophy has reeled off 3 straight, including 2 by Clark. Moore has 2 points. Shot turned away by Liam Bailey. I'll tell you what, Brophy down through the years, it seems like year in and year out, they come up with the best of goalies. Going back to Pierce Bassett and all the rest. 3-1 Broncos were in the first quarter. Desert Vista trying to cut this down to a 1-goal lead. 22 is Winston Bolton. Here's the dodge by Garrett. Get it back out to Winston. Winston on the drive. He'll take the shot, and he'll leave it wide right of the goal. Now a quick restart here as Jack Arentz, whose older brother played here for Desert Vista, was an outstanding scorer for Dan Lannon. Desert Vista, in fact, from 2013 to 2016, was in the state finals. They won 2, they lost 2. And lost to Frankie Armenta's Gilbert Tigers in a true classic 2 years ago over at Chaparral's Firebird Stadium in overtime. Gavin Christ with the overtime goal. Shot, save again. You have to change the eye level of this young man. He's awfully quick. And he gets that quick outlet like all the outstanding goalies do. Quickly gets it to Moore. Moore down the pipe. Now gives it up. And it's going to be challenged from behind. A trail check there by Taylor Witt. And an excellent defensive play by the Desert Vista Thunder. And that is the end of quarter number 1. This is the Arizona Lacrosse League on APM Video Sports. Brophy off to a very good start. They lead it 3-1. Calling all teams and players, get into the box. Arizona Box Lacrosse presents the Best in Box Invitational starting in June. League practices will be held to prepare for a 6-week game series sponsored by String King. Get into the box. Register today at azboxla.com. All right, we're getting set for the second quarter action here of the Arizona Lacrosse League's Game of the Week. And a great rivalry between the Brophy Broncos and the Desert Vista Thunder. The Broncos in the white uniforms lead it by a score of 3-1. Face-off win, Desert Vista. And a good start to the second quarter where they trail by 2. And they get the ground ball on that far side. Looking inside the pipe, and the shot is taken by the long stick, Spencer Story. Yes, sir. Story draws his team back to within one with 11:43 left to go, and it's 3-2. You don't often see a long stick midfielder that close in taking a shot. That's usually the area for the attack or the midfielder. Well, the face-off wins are even at 2 apiece. Desert Vista still trying to do it, and I think we're going to get a trip without possession, and it will be Desert Vista's possession here, and they have a 3-2 lead in face-off wins. Restarting for the Thunder has been Brandenburger, who scored 11 points last year for Dan Lannon's Desert Vista Thunder, who currently trail Brophy 3-2 here, early stages of quarter number 2. So Aaron Pass goes all the way out towards the midfield stripe, picked up there by J.J. Rose, and he'll get around the defender, and that's Canella. Rose right down the middle, wants to take the shot. He hit Pipe City, hit the crossbar, and it goes all the way back out to midfield. That's how much velocity that last shot by J.J. Rose had, and he missed it by just an inch or two as it hit the pipe. He's taken only 2 shots. He was 1 for 1 in that first quarter when he scored the game's first goal for the Desert Vista Thunder to give them an early 1-0 lead, but they trail 3-2 here on the roll coming out of X. That's Callahan, another one of those second-generational players for Desert Vista. His older brother, Ben, currently plays for the University of Arizona Wildcats, Coach Matt Blamey's team. Unsettled ball, Desert Vista, and Thumler with a good clear. Excellent play by Bryce Thumler, and now Desert Vista will settle in with Brandenburger, and now the ball carrier, once again, Nick Callahan. Work it up top, around the horn, Baltine. Now J.J. Rose, way up top. Let's see what the Goose can do here. See a little alley dodge. Good defense. Turns to his left, pulls the trigger. It may have hit somebody that was out in front of the crease, so it's still 3-2 Brophy here in the second quarter. Moving without the ball well, but the left-handed shot no good by Ben Brandenburger. So 2 shots on this possession for the Desert Vista Thunder, who trail it 3-2 here, a couple of minutes into the second quarter. Restart belongs to Jaden. Now work it out of X, Brandenburger. Get it out to J.J. Rose. Rose looking to dodge here, going up against the freshman Andrew Court, who had a really good game in our game of the week when Brophy played Chaparral. Shot taken, big left hand, he's 2 out of 3. And J.J. Rose has tied this game up, unassisted score with 9:03 left to go here in the first half. So Desert Vista has scored 2 in a row to tie this game up, eliminating what was a 3-1 lead by the Brophy Broncos. This is a big game for Brophy. I mean, almost a must-win situation for this club. A victory here today over this tough Desert Vista team, who I think many would say is one of the top 2 or 3 teams going into the season. And so far they've proven it with a 4-0 record. But if Brophy could come up with a win here, and they are playing with a lot more confidence here tonight as Thumler going up against Jack Clark. That's one of the great matchups in the Arizona Lacrosse League. The confidence, if they can continue to play the way they have here through the first 15-plus minutes, could really turn their season around. And they've already played Notre Dame. They still have Sal Point on their schedule. Here's the dodge out front, Welty. Nice job by Jake Rodriguez. Now the shot from the wing. Brophy regains the lead. Well, I'll tell you, the 2-man tandem there, Thomas Moore and Thomas Bullington, doing a great job here. So Brophy regains the lead 4-3. And there's an assisted goal there by the Broncos, and now another face-off. And we're going to get interference on Desert Vista. This should be Brophy's possession. No, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'm sorry. It's going to be Desert Vista's possession. I was looking at the monitor there and got a little fooled by the camera. It looked like for a moment, as you saw Chris Votto checking in, number 16. And a big left-handed shot coming from the left of the goal by Brandenburger. So a 4-3 lead for the Broncos here. 7.5 minutes left to play here in the first half. Just a reminder, if you're interested in sponsoring any of our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week to help them pay for the production cost of our weekly game, there's a shot taken from the wing, no good. Good ground ball that time by Dino Billo. So a good job by the Thunder, keeping possession, trailing by 1, 4-3 as we approach the 7-minute mark here in quarter number 2. Desert Vista comes in here 4-0 by way of record. Now the alley dodge, the trip, keeping his composure is Phillips, but they'll restart it and work it around X. Broncos up by 1. Backing in. Jaden has it pried loose. Nice job holding his ground was the sophomore Emmett Worth, who got the start here on defense and still out there. And now Liam Bailey and the Broncos will try to clear it out. Loose ball unsettled. Who wants the 50-50 chance here? And it's picked up by Thumler, who has already made a couple of nice plays. That was a good outlet, but unable to corral it was Spencer Story. Story, who has a goal here in this game, and now the Broncos, and they're in transition, and then they got the numbers, and it paid off. Canella on the assist. He finds the freshman Shyman, and it's back up to a 2-goal lead here, 5-3 for the Brophy Broncos. 5 minutes and 43 seconds left to go here in the first half. Canella, his first point of the contest for the Broncos, and it comes on an assist to Shyman, the freshman. 4-3 advantage for Desert Vista. They come out shooting the ball. Very aggressive was Brandenburger. And picked up by Jackson Underwood. And the Broncos can extend their lead to 3 if they can find the back of the cage. It would be their largest lead. Bailey will try to clear. You got 20 seconds to get it across the halfway line, and then 10 more seconds to get it into the attack zone. And I don't know if they're going to make it, and there it is, the whistle and the failure to advance. So that'll be a turnover. There was some indecision there with the Broncos in the offensive half. Now Callahan restarts for Desert Vista. Broncos at home, moving without the ball well. Unable to hold on to it, though, was Baltine. Work it around. Callahan, the senior, and out to J.J. Rose. We'll be going to Rhode Island next year. Very excited about playing college lacrosse next season, and we wish him the best of luck. He's been one of the great players in recent years. Of course, he missed out on some of those great teams. Of course, he was a part of that championship team in 2015. Here's a shot, no good. Was I think he actually played in 2 championship games for Dan Lannon, if I'm not mistaken, in 15-16. Last year they lost to Notre Dame in the the semifinals. And this year they're hoping to get back to the finals for what would be the 5th time in the decade. They have won 2 championships, Desert Vista has. They've been to the finals 4 times. Brophy has won 3 state championships, 2010, 12, and 13. Big left hand, and Rose has the hat trick. And he's found the promised land for the 3rd time tonight. And it's back to a 1-point lead with 3:37. So a 5-4 lead, but Rose brings back as we got a timeout. This is APN Video Sports. Jeff Lowry back here from Brophy Sports Complex. On the restart, the Broncos will have it. Work it over to Clark. Broncos have led 3-1. They have led 5-3, but right now it's 5-4. Inside, boy, Bullington working without the ball. The slide was late. He was at point-blank range and was turned away. Broncos trying to add on to a 1-goal lead here. Up top, shot. Trying to bounce feed it was Xander Welty. Another one of the sensational freshmen on this team getting a lot of playing time. Welty, number 10, over to Clark. Clark, the senior leader out there. Shot high and away by Brian Paul. He's a second, I guess, I don't know if it's really a second generation, but he is the second of the 2 brothers to play here for Brophy. Alec Paul, who played here, had a great career. He takes another shot high. Even. Yeah, I forgot after coming out of the break that Brophy was in a man-up situation. Now we're all even. Paul starts to dodge and actually hit the pipe, and I don't think Moore even saw that shot coming. So the rebound comes up with Desert Vista in possession. Jake Rodriguez quickly into the offensive half, and he has it stripped away by Thomas Moore. Here's Moore out into transition. Moore eyeing down the defense. He gives it up on the wing, and it's Clark finding the promised land. What a sensational play by Thomas Moore. So Clark has his 3rd of the day. We got 2 players with a hat trick, but it was Moore who came up with the steal, great in transition, and takes it all the way. His 2nd assist of the day, and Brophy back up to a 2-point lead here as we are approaching the end of the first half. So we're going to get a timeout here. The Brophy Broncos lead it by a score of 6-4, and you're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League on APN Video Sports. Well, welcome back to Brophy Sports Complex. Final couple minutes here, 1:45 to be exact. Here's the freshman going to work. Swim, dodge in. Turned away by Moore. Excellent job there by on the defense, the crease defense by Kaylor Moore and the Desert Vista Thunder. The Brophy gets the ground ball on the unsettled ball, and they will restart with their freshman Xander Welty. Bullington, 1 minute left to go. It's been an exciting first half. The Broncos are playing their best lacrosse of the season, especially when you're considering who they're playing. They have not beaten Desert Vista in their last 5 meetings, counting the playoffs. Welty. Now the defense, Josh Atkins, Thomas Moore. Moore over to Bullington. Now Jack Clark, the senior. Wants to go with the left. And he has found the back of the cage. The slide wasn't there, and it is now the largest lead of the night for the Broncos with 44 seconds left to play. What a day for Clark. Face-off win for the Broncos. So Bobby Clark getting the job done, but then throws it high, and that'll be a turnover. And Desert Vista has they got enough time here to do something. Well, maybe not. Send it all the way down. Well, Callahan somehow finds the back of the net. And what a pass by Bryce Thumler, and it all started with a turnover by Bobby Clark. Thumler sending it all the way down. And it's now 7-5 with 16.5 seconds left to go. Callahan with his first goal of the contest. And now J.J. Rose pulls the trigger. Good job of backing up the team closest to the ball. When it goes out of bounds on a shot, will get the possession. Excellent job, Jackson Underwood, the junior, and that will end the first half. 7-5 Brophy. Do we have an upset in the making? We'll find out. Come back with us in the second half. Calling all teams and players, get into the box. Arizona Box Lacrosse presents the Best in Box Invitational starting in June. League practices will be held to prepare for a 6-week game series sponsored by String King. Get into the box. Register today at azboxla.com. All right, welcome back to Brophy Sports Complex. The Broncos off to a slow start here in 2018, but off to a great start against their old nemesis, the Desert Vista Thunder. They lead at 7-5 behind 4 goals by senior attackman Jack Clark. And we're going to get a procedure, and it's going to be a face-off win for the Brophy Broncos, evening up face-off X here tonight. Desert Vista is led by the 3 goals, or the hat trick, by senior midfielder J.J. Rose. So we start the second half, 7-5 lead for the Broncos, who come out here in the white tops and the black shorts. It was a very good first half for junior midfielder Thomas Moore for the Brophy Broncos. He was an outstanding facilitator and trying to get Drew Scheinman, who has one of the goals for the Brophy Broncos, into the offense here today. The Broncos, no hurry to rush the shot. They want to play for a good, solid shot here. Here's the dodge. Alley dodge. Moore got the hands free for a moment, but stepping up and disrupting the shot was the goalie, Kaylor Moore. So a minute plus into the contest, and Kaylor Moore coming up big time. Now the freshman Welty, and they'll restart it way out top. Moving right, picked up there defensively by the Goose. Garrett Geeson doing a good job protecting the alley there for the defense, but out front is Welty. There's a flag on the play, but a blistering shot gets by the goalie, and Moore has his 3rd assist of the day. Coming with 10:32 left to go, and Brophy enjoying another 3-point lead, but there was a illegal cross-check. Or check that, a cross-check. Welty has his first goal of the game for the Broncos, and they now lead it 8-5.
Come on, Spence, get that ball.
I'll tell you, Thomas Moore's unselfish play in this game has been the difference. He has 3 assists. He has 1 goal, 4 points. Tied with Clark, but of course Clark's are all via a goal. Alex Cannella with an outstanding ground ball. Brophy with a 1 advantage, +1 in face-off wins.
Watch 3. Put on a swivel.
Broncos trying to get back to the state championship, in which they took on Notre Dame last year. Another Broncos goal. And this time it's Donkersley. And guess who gets the assist? His 4th of the day. And it's been a long time since I've seen somebody with 4 assists in one game. And the Broncos enjoy their largest lead of the day. It is now 9-5. Face-off time again at Brophy Sports Complex, and it's all about possession. Thomas More is having a sensational day here at the home of the Brophy Broncos, Brophy Sports Complex. A big reason why the Broncos are up by 4 right now, enjoying their largest lead of the contest, is that they have won all 4 face-offs to start the second half. It's all about possession. Bullington trying to go to the left. Close to a hold there on Jake Rodriguez, but we'll just call it great defense. And now the battle. Culp gets it to his man. And streaking into the offensive half is Desert Vista. Here's Nick Callahan going to work. Tried to go top shelf. Nice swim move as he tried to get around Jackson Underwood, who played really good defense there, even though he did let Callahan get around him. Callahan just really could not get any mustard on that shot. And so Desert Vista now down by 4, 9-5 here in the early stages of the second half. Stay with us at the conclusion of this game. We'll have our big play of the ball game and, of course, post-game interviews. We kind of mix the two. And we'll talk to the winning team. Right now, Brophy in command. And they've been in control of this game for the most part. We were tied at 3 when J.J. Rose scored the second of his 3 goals at the 9-minute mark in quarter number 2, but it's been all Brophy since then. They have outscored the Thunder by 6-2 since then. I'll tell you what, good penetration there by Jaden for DV. And they were able to keep the possession there. Winston Baltine, who had 18 ground balls, 9 points a year ago, number 22. Now J.J. Rose. Rose, a tremendous facilitator. He was second in the league last year. Of course, he was the player of the year, offensive player of the year last year. And I wouldn't disagree with that. There were a couple of other players that could have won it. It was a I stewed over for a week. And there were times where I just thought, I don't know. I mean, Traxler up at Notre Dame was deserving. There was a couple of others. I thought Max Mankin had to be a finalist. I mean, that guy was tremendous in face-off X. Led the state in face-off wins and ground balls. I mean, that's one of the foundations to a successful team, how well you do in face-off X. Now, if you're a great team, sometimes it doesn't matter, but it's all about possession. But, I mean, for J.J. to win it, I mean, he was definitely deserving of it. I think he is definitely one of the top 2 or 3 players in the state, if not the best. And he wasn't all about goals last year. I mean, he was up there in assists and goals. Second in points to Alex Lesher of Brophy. Save, rebound, back-to-back saves by Moore. Are you kidding me? Check that. We got a new goalie in there, and it's Christian Creech. So Christian comes on, and I believe Christian is a freshman. It's not on our roster, unfortunately. But Christian with 2 point-blank range shots on goal, and he saved both of them. And I'll tell you what, if Desert Vista comes back and wins this game or can tie it, You're going to go back to those 2 saves. Because right now, Desert Vista cannot afford to turn the ball over, unforced turnover like that. And somehow, I guess Brophy was the last one to touch it. But they can't afford to drop down any further than they can right now. They're down by 4. JJ's only shot it 3 or 4 times. He'll take the shot. Wow, that one almost went in. Almost looked like it broke the plane. And it's going to go out of bounds. It'll still be Thunder possession here. Third quarter action. Now the dodge. I didn't hear the restart whistle. Votto out front and a great opportunity. And Garrett couldn't. He was at the doorstep but couldn't bust through. Liam Bailey again. The outstanding sophomore goalie for the Brophy Broncos coming up large here tonight. And he is another big, big reason why this team is up by 4. Third quarter action. The Broncos in possession. White tops, black shorts. 9-5 lead. Alley dodge for Thomas Moore, who has 4 assists. They work it around well. Bottom shelf into denial. Once again, it was Creech. And Christian with, 4 saves here in the second half alone. Big ground ball by Thomas Moore and the Brophy Broncos. Up 9-5 here. Dan Lannon, the head coach of the Thunder. We mentioned only 1 of 4 coaches with 2 or more title wins. Jason Silkey, Bo Pick, Derek Dragowski. The only 3 coaches besides Dan Lannon to win 2 or more championships. Derek Dragowski led this team to the first 2 titles for Brophy in 07 and 08. In transition, DV needing a goal. Great look out front, J.J. Rose. That was a beautiful look to Ben Brandenburger. Check that, that was Nick Callahan. Nick Callahan on the assist. Boy, it doesn't get any better than that. And he made it look easy. 4:09 left to go and a much-needed goal there. Brophy had scored 4 of the game's last 5 goals. Callahan with his second point of the day. Face-off win, and boy, has that been huge here in the second half. Quick shot, turned away again. Christian got the big face on that one. And Desert Vista in transition. And it's pried away from behind, the good trail check. Crowd wants a trip or a push here. They're not going to get it. Now they're going to get it. It's a push. And it will be Thunder ball here in the third period as we approach the 3-minute mark. Well, we're seeing some great, high-quality lacrosse here. Now Desert Vista. Thunder down by 3, and now the ball carrier J.J. Rose, the senior. Looking maybe for a scoring title, though. I was talking to his mom earlier tonight, and I asked her about that, and she says he just wants to play winning lacrosse. He just wants to play. He's not into the statistics. And, you know, the way he plays, I mean, you got to believe her because, I mean, he is so unselfish. He's only shot the ball 4 times in tonight's game. He's got it here, now loses it. Good defense. That's Andrew Court, the freshman, who I was really impressed with in that Chaparral game, but it's JJ coming up with the ground ball. Works it along the alley, now on the wing. Picked up there defensively by Pettiford. He was a starter in this game. Desert Vista in possession and in the dark uniforms, trailing 9-6 here on APN's Encore Gamecast. Presented by the Arizona Lacrosse League. It's our game of the week. Our next game is coming up. Will be the Boulder Creek out of Anthem, Arizona, taking on Corona del Sol down at Henshaw Stadium on the campus of Corona del Sol High School at the football field. Dodge, Votto, and it's outside the cage. In fact, it's going to go out of play. Callahan gives chase, and Desert Vista will retain possession. Good effort and hustle by Emmett Worth on the defense. Callahan with 2 points, a goal, and an assist. He'll work it out to Bolton. Now Votto. No relation to Joey Votto, the all-star first baseman for the Reds. Rolling in towards the cage, and electing not to come back with a quick left was Votto. Desert Vista trailing by 3. We're in the third quarter. Votto. Now they work at the X. And this is where Nick Callahan, who is the second leading scorer on this team this year in terms of points, eyes over the defense, moves left, goes right, finds Votto out front. Beautiful. Tremendous patience. And the Thunder faithful shaking our cameras as they are well pleased. Votto scores for the first time. Callahan's second assist of the day. And with 1:21 left to go, it's a new ball game at 9-7. We got a timeout. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League on APN. I think that was a TV timeout. Yes. That would be a first. Yes, it would. Well, it's been a great night for Arizona high school lacrosse here. Temperatures in the mid-70s. A great night. It's been good to see some of the Desert Vista fans here in attendance. And, of course, you know, for so many years we shot for the BROPHY Broncos when Bo Pick was here and Derek Dragowski. J.J. Rose shooting high, contested shot. Desert Vista trailing 9-7 here on our game of the week. But it's good to see the people out here, and certainly wish both these coaches a successful season this year, and certainly a lot of fun when these two teams hook up. It's a great rivalry. Here's a swim dodge, a split dodge, I should say, and I'll tell you what, it looked good, but then that defense prevailed, and now Desert Vista comes out of the fray, looking to pull to within 1. They got an opportunity. Bailey turns them away, and then a block out front, and the Broncos are going to have possession on the ground ball by Luke Pettiford, the freshman. Defensive long stick midfielder, but then he throws it away. It's picked up out at midfield. Garrett may have been a foul there. That might have been a slash. A late flag comes in, and now they're going to say cross-check. I believe this is going against the Broncos, and this is going to be a 1-minute infraction. There's no non-releasable on that one. So Alec Buccino is going to sit for a minute, and I haven't seen too many penalties in this game. So when we come back for the fourth quarter, 9-7 Brophy. This is our Arizona Lacrosse League game of the week. Calling all teams and players, get into the box. Arizona Box Lacrosse presents the Best in Box Invitational starting in June. League practices will be held to prepare for a 6-week game series sponsored by String King. Get into the box. Register today at azboxla.com. All right, we're back here at the Brophy Sports Complex, which has been the home for the Brophy Broncos. I think they moved in here right around 2007. And playing on their home turf, they've been very successful, though they did get beat by Bill Casey in the Arizona Box Lacrosse at Westside Lacrosse for the first time in Glendale history in their last game on the 16th, 14-10. And Glendale is one of the surprising teams this year. They are 5-1. Bill Casey, by the way, he does a tremendous job in promoting this sport on the west side of town. There's not a lot of teams on the west side. And Desert Vista strikes first here in the fourth. Jake Aarons is on the board. That comes with 11:38, so 22 seconds in. to this second half, and all of a sudden it's a 9-8 ball game, a 1-point affair. Face-off X has been crucial here for Brophy. They don't get the opening possession of the fourth quarter. And you saw where that paid off, and now in a face-off win for DV, that's the 1st and 4. In fact, that's their first face-off win in the second half, but actually they're going to give it right back to Brophy. So an interference call. Good check there. Thomas Moore, unselfish play. We've seen a lot of unselfish play here. J.J. Rose, who hasn't shot a lot, has 3 goals, but he's been a nice facilitator for Desert Vista. Callahan for Desert Vista with 2 assists. Thomas Moore has 4. I don't think I've had a game maybe in a couple of years where anyone's had that many assists. That's a great matchup there. Jack Clark, one of the lethal scorers, who has 4 goals in this game, and being guarded by, I think, one of the top defenders in Bryce Thumler. Brophy clinging to a 1-goal lead. 9-8 fourth quarter action. Take the shot. Denied. I tell you what, Christian Creech, who came in here at halftime, has done a sensational job. Brophy trying to get the unsettled ball. All right, we're going to get a push. Give it back to Desert Vista. No, that can't be right. I think sometimes the officials, and I may be speaking out of turn here, they'll say push white, and everybody thinks that means that team, the white team's going to get it. That means push white, Desert Vista ball, or black. Usually if the darker team is black, the lighter colored uniform is white. So they got it right. And now Desert Vista looking to equalize. We have not been tied since it was 3-3 back in the second, and they throw the ball away. And hopefully for Desert Vista, this isn't a costly turnover. Alex Cannella, very talented midfielder, junior year. He'll get the touch into the box. Got to get it into that blue box area. You got 10 seconds after crossing the halfway line. And now gives it up to Jack Clark, who has scored 4 times here tonight. 9-8 Brophy in possession. Fourth quarter action. Here's the freshman Shyman. They give it back over to Clark. Work it around. Number 3, Thomas Moore. Moore with 4 assists here tonight. Check that 3. Good spin move. Goal line extended, then he pulls the trigger and leaves it high. That was Shyman, the freshman. If you're a Brophy Bronco fan and you're a little concerned about the 2-4 record, which I'm sure everybody in Bronco Nation is, I think after what you've seen tonight, I think the team's in good shape. And why not? Thomas Bullington, who will be back next year, the junior, has found the promised land with a blistering left-handed shot, and the lead is back up to 2. Well, for Bullington, that is his first goal of the contest. That'll be an unassisted goal. And I'll tell you, I think a big difference in this second half for Brophy has been face-off X success. They don't get one here. That is the first, if my stats are correct, that is the first face-off victory as Connor Farrell gets the big ground ball for Desert Vista in the second half. So they're back down by 2, 10-8. It's been a very entertaining game. This is our 4th lacrosse game. That's going to be probably a good slash against 1-3 Jackson Underwood. Let's see if this is going to be a 2-minute penalty. He's already had 1 tonight. Now, if it's going to be a slash, 1 minute. I think it was inadvertent. So he gets a glad hand from his teammates. And a golden opportunity for Dan Lannon and his Desert Vista Thunder. They are a man up. here in the fourth quarter, trailing Brophy on their home turf by 2. Brophy Sports Complex, and they're right back in it. Jack Arentz, his second goal here in the quarter, and it's 10-9, a man-up goal, his second of the day. So we're down to 8:17 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Desert Vista and Brophy, the two most successful teams in this decade. They have collaborated on 5 state championships. They have been collectively in 9 state championships. Brophy has been in 5, won 3. Overall, Brophy has won 5 championships, state championships that is. And they have lost 5. They're 5 for 5. Appeared in their first state championship in 2006 against the Chaparral Firebirds. J.J. Rose swimming through the defense. 3 defenders. Gets the shot off. He leaves it too high. Good effort. And he was able, that's a pretty amazing shot. He had 3 guys all over him. Poke check left and right, and he was able to free those hands. He had a good two yards of space. Here is Callahan, who tried to do a bit of a pirouette shot. He'll get the ground ball out of X. Desert Vista. Trailing 10-9. But the Brophy Broncos pretty much have controlled this game. Rose. Unselfish, gives it up. Good slide there by Pettiford. You cannot let J.J. Rose, you can't go one-on-one. If you isolate with him, he'll make you pay, no question about it. Underwood now isolated, but he's pretty far away from the crease. Now Votto, moving right. Alley dodge. There's the slide by Court, the freshman. Good play. 32's got it. Brandenburger. And another save by Liam Bailey. Didn't get a lot of mustard on that. Cannella needs this ground ball for the Broncos, and he's going to clear it. And a very wise timeout by Zach Widman and the Brophy Broncos here in the fourth quarter. 6:21 left to go. This is the Arizona Lacrosse League game of the week. All right, Jeff Lowry back here from Brophy Sports Complex. Broncos in possession. Looking to pull off a big upset. Desert Vista in the dark uniforms comes in here. 4 wins, no losses. Regarded by everyone going into the season, one of the top 2 or 3 teams. Along with South Point, obviously Notre Dame, who I think is the best team in the state, clearly. And they've proven it so far. They're 6-0. And with what they had coming back, I mean, you can't argue it. And what it's going to take for one of these 2 teams, or a South Point or a Glendale, they got to figure out how to slay that giant. And I don't know. I think it's going to be a tall task. But Brophy is playing their best lacrosse here tonight. Donkersley, who has 1 goal, and it is backed up, and there's Thumler again. He wants to clear it. Long stick defender. Up across midfield. Well, Desert Vista would like a timeout here. Yep, there it is. Dan Lannon calling the timeout. That was a smart move. And an outstanding clear as Bryce Thumler had a big night here with 5:18 left to go. I'll tell you what, I mean, if you love Arizona Lacrosse League action, you know, I love the rivalries, you know, and this is definitely one of them. One of the best. This has almost become a bigger rivalry than Brophy Chaparral, just because of the success these 2 teams have had, you know, in this decade. And Brophy's trying to break Desert Vista's 5-game win streak as Rose pulls the trigger, trying to bounce feed that one in there. You know, that might be a situation where, you know, J.J. Rose and this Desert Vista team does not play on natural turf or artificial turf. As they get in close, and this game is tied. What a dodge coming out of X by Jaden, and he has scored for the first time. Boy, what a clutch goal by Jaden as he scores with 4:46. We are tied for the first time since the 8:03 mark back in the second quarter, when Brophy took the lead. Bullington and Moore collaborating. Big face-off, and Brophy has done it again. Or have they? Procedure gives it back to DV. So that's 2 face-off wins in a row, but Brophy's won 5 of the 7, but not the last 2. And guess what? We're tied. What a game we have seen here tonight at Brophy Sports Complex on our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. We might be seeing some overtime here. All right, J.J. Rose making sure the right personnel's out there. Here's Garrett. Give it up to Winston. Winston looking for J.J. J.J. comes up. Eyes down the pipe. And they'll work the wing, and here is Callahan. The attack. Second leading scorer on the team. Trying to take it out of X. He will give it up, and once again, it was Jaden. Ninobillo backing up nicely was Desert Vista, and they're going to retain possession here. 10-10 tie inside of 4 minutes left to go on our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. Here's Jaden going to work again. He wants to back him down. He's trying to curl in there, and Bailey would have nothing to do with it, the outstanding goalie. That was a crease violation, I believe, on Desert Vista. I didn't see the indication, but Bailey comes up with a save nonetheless. And what a night for Liam Bailey. I know they've scored 10 goals, but he's made some big-time saves. Sometimes the score is not indicative of how well your goalie has played. Now, Brophy with a nice clear in transition. Thought maybe they would have a build-up there. Jack Clark with 4 goals here tonight. We're in a 10-10 tie. 3 minutes left to play here in regulation. Thomas Moore.
Let's go, Thunder! Play talk! Talk, G, talk!
Brophy is going to wind this clock down a little bit. You wonder, and they're not in a stall by any stretch of the imagination, but you ever wonder if the high school rankings are going to go with a shot clock like they do at the college level. Speaking of college lacrosse, folks, if you're interested, here's a build-up. Bullington, he's got a goal here tonight.
Stay on him, G.
Nice job there by number 22, Winston Balton.
Stay on him.
Shot, it's wide. APN is at least the home games of the, we're the official videographer and of the University of Arizona Wildcats. Matt Blamey's team. So, you know, go to their website. You can check out their schedule. In fact, we will have a live broadcast of their game this Saturday when they take on San Diego State. If they win that game, they've got about a 99% chance of going to the playoffs. So it's a big game, even though they have been struggling. Brophy. Shot, no good. Christian, another save for Desert Vista. And the young man has done extremely well here since coming in relief of the starter, Kaylor Moore, and now it's intercepted. Transition time for the Broncos. 10-10 tie, late stages of the contest. Fourth quarter action. Welty, the freshman, up top. Work it over to the dangerous Clark. Back to Welty. Over to Bullington. Welty with a goal to start the second half, early in the third. Bullington right down the alley. right down the pipe. Quick pass, spin move, shot. It's good. It's high. Drew Scheiman again, his second. What a job by these freshmen, and Brophy leads it 11-10.
33.
Scheiman with his second goal. Now Cannella with this is a monster face-off. Jake Rodriguez, who's going to corral it, and it's picked up there, scooped up by Moore. Brophy in possession, under a minute left to play. Nearly turned it over. It's stood. It's a great pass, and the quick shot, his 5th of the night by Jack Clark. But it was all started by Moore. He has been sensational here tonight. 12-10 is our score here. We talked how important that faceoff was. Boy, was it ever. And Brophy won that battle here in the second half. J.J. Rose gets the ground ball. Desert Vista needs a quick score. They can't mess around. Here's J.J. spinning to his right, trying to pull the trigger. And again, when he's playing at Pecos, that shot flattens out, but not here on this hard artificial turf. Desert Vista running out of time. Shot. This time it's a score. The 4th of the night for J.J. It's a 1-goal game. We apologize for the shaking. Not a whole lot we could do with 25.5 seconds left to go. Now, it's not an eternity by any stretch, but plenty of time. If Desert Vista can win this face-off, they would have enough time to set up for a shot. Brophy is dominated here, but the last 3 of 4 have went to Desert Vista. They get the ground ball. They win the face-off with 19 seconds left to play here in regulation time, and a very good timeout there by Desert Vista. So we come back to live action. It's our Arizona Lacrosse League game of the week. Desert Vista. Here's J.J. Rose, trailing by 1. Seconds left to go. We're down to 10. J.J. moving to his left. Right of the goal. Works it out of X. He's running out of time. 6 seconds left to go. 5 seconds left to go. Outstanding defense. A flag is down. The shot is no good. And time has expired. And the ball game is over. And Brophy has won it here at home by the final score of 12-11. The upset has happened as they defeat the undefeated Desert Vista Thunder, who dropped to 4-1, and Brophy moves to 3-4, just 1 game under the 500 mark. Well, it's time for our APN Sports Arizona Lacrosse League Big Play of the Day. All right, we're back here at Brophy Sports Complex. 10-9 victory for the Brophy Broncos. They go to 3-4 by way of record. And guys, first off, introduce yourself and congratulations on a big win over DV.
I'm Alex Cannella. Tommy Moore.
All right, Tommy. Tommy, I thought you set the tone out there. You were great out there, just facilitating that offense. You got some big assists that I thought really set the tone kind of in the middle part of the game, and you got to be proud of your teammates too.
Oh yeah, they're all excited over there, screaming. We're having a good old time. It's a great win.
Rep the shirt.
Honestly, if we get everyone involved and just go hard, everything comes together.
I was just going to ask you guys, I mean, you know, I saw you guys against Chaparral, and yeah, that wasn't your best game, but What was the difference here tonight? I mean, you guys look completely focused.
It's just all heart, honestly. Like, once we just need to figure it out and just go hard, and that's all it is.
Yeah, that last half against Chaparral, we kind of fell to Chaparral in that last half. This time we were able to focus up, work together, and pull out a W. So
played our own pace.
Played our own pace, controlled the game our way, the game that we play. So
Zach Widman takes over the team this year. I think you're in great hands with him.
Yeah.
What are the goals for this team this year? Because you lost a lot of guys. You got 6 freshmen, 10 sophomores, I think. So what's the goals this year?
We're just trying to get everyone to get on the same page and just figure us out as a team and who we are, figure out our identity.
Okay. 10-9 victory tonight. Congratulations. And you got a chance to get back to 500 in your next game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.